Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Sriram V from the Tech Advisor team of HCL Universal Orchestrator. We are looking at an agentic AI use case today. So, before we delve into the details of the use case, we'll have a look at some of the agentic AI capabilities offered within Universal Orchestrator. So, we have a pre built AI agents library where we expose a number of AI agents pre built, and we also have the option to create your own custom agentic AI agent here. There's also the other type of self-service AI agent available where you can converse with the AI agent using natural language, which in turn will be deterministic. So it will decide what workflows to run, when to run, depending on the natural flow of the conversation. And then there is a third type of AI agent where it's going to be more like a step within a particular workflow. So where I can invoke an agentic AI step from within a workflow. So that is a third type of agentic AI. So the type of agentic AI that we are looking at today is the first type where I'm going to have a custom AI agent built, and this custom AI agent will be used within the workflow. So let's have a look at the use case itself. Now this is a DevOps scenario. We have a git pull request invoked by a developer, which in turn is going to cross check all the requirements in Jira. So all the user stories which are defined in Jira before the development cycle are going to be checked for and whether the code is compliant with all the user stories. It's also going to trigger a quality check of all the unit tests done within JUnit. So we're going to check the quality of the unit tests done within JUnit. We're also going to invoke a third type of AI agent, which is going to check the impact of this code push on all the other countries' code. So we're going to check the impact in GitHub for this particular code push against all the other countries' code that is also pushed in GitHub. And finally, we're going to trigger a fourth agentic AI that is going to generate a recommendations report, and it's also going to do a risk scoring on the recommendations report, so on all the issues that it found from the other three agents. So this is the kind of scenario that we are looking at. So let's delve straight into the scenario. So I have the git pull here mimicked by the developer. This in turn is going to trigger a workflow. So I'm going to run the workflow manually now, but this can be done in an event driven fashion from the product. So I have the first step, which is going to get all the builds from Git. So this is pulling the CI login workflow build, which is this particular URL. The state is successful. This is the pipeline defined. And I have the second CI user role workflow build for this URL, which is for the role assignment feature. This one is for the commit to the login branch. This one is triggered by the commit to the login branch. So these are the builds that are pulled. I have a second step that is going to check, or that is going to pull all the unit tests done within JUnit. So there are some four different unit tests that were performed. The first unit test was for successful login that was passed. The second unit test was for log on with a wrong password that also passed the test. The third check was for validating the email format. Now this one returns should return this particular error with true, but then it returned false. So the status is marked as failed. And then the registration of the new user, this one also passed. So these are the four unit tests that are pulled out. And then we feed into the AI agent. So this is the heart of the workflow. So this is where we go into the AI agent. So now this particular AI agent in turn is pulling all the different stories from Jira and is checking whether our code is compliant with the user stories. So the first one is to implement the login flow, the first user story. Now here the coverage is sufficient. It is part of the build. The status is marked as done. All the tests were done. The second user story is to add the user role management. Here, the coverage is insufficient. The status is still in progress, and the test verification is returned false. We also have some missing stories. So, the password reset feature was not covered. This is expected in the build, but is not included as part of the build. So this overall status is failed with two completed stories and one missing story from the build, and one story which is without the test done, and a total of three stories that are linked. So this is the first AI agent output. The second AI agent is going to trigger the quality of the unit tests. So this in turn is going to check each of the programs. So here the login server test.java program, the assertion count is very low. Only one out of the three tests are passed. Severity is medium. Unit service test.java is a second file. Here the test method name is not so descriptive. Severity is marked as low. The third program that was tested was the email service test.java. Here, some edge test cases are missing because some null input conditions are not checked for. The severity is marked as high in this particular case. So, the recommendations from the agent is to improve the assertion depth in the login server test, follow the naming conventions for clarity, and also add some edge test cases for email service tests. So the status is passed with warnings. These are the total number of test files and the total number of test methods that were tested. And finally, we also have the third AI agent, which is going to check the code impact against all the other countries' code. So this particular agent has also pulled out some issues. So the first issue is that the new API method added is not documented. It is in the shared service contract. So the recommendation is to update the API schema and notify the UK team. This is part of the loan processing module. The second issue detected is that the date format is not ISO. It is of the local format. So we need to conform with the ISO 8601 standards and confirm the compatibility. This is again part of the same module. The severity is marked as medium. And the third one is issue is where INR is hard coded in the shared currency utility model. So this is part of the currency conversion module. So the recommendation given is to replace this with the region aware configuration. The severity here is in this case is high, and these are the confirmed dependencies. So severity of the impact is high, status failed, and the total impacted modules are two, while total policy violations are three. So the origin country of the push itself is from India. The targeted countries are US, UK, and Singapore. So this is the report from the cross country impact agent, and then we finally have it feeding into the recommendations agent. Now the recommendations agent is pulling out a set of recommendations. The first recommendation is to externalize the currency configuration and validate the localization. Here it detected that INR was hard coded in the shared currency the currency conversion module. This is marked as priority high. Also, the null and negative part tests for loan service are to be tested. So, test coverage is acceptable 82.5%, but edge test cases are null. Also, some invalid inputs are missing in the loan service test. So, the priority set here is medium. And the fourth action is to verify if this particular feature of the password reset feature was unintentionally skipped or pushed to maybe to another branch. So this is marked as done in Jira but not part of the build. So this is marked as medium. So these are the summary of actions. As one high priority action, there are two medium priority actions. So we have the fourth agent, which is summarizing the complete recommendations report. So what this overall process does is it really reduces the time spent by the code reviewers. It also reduces the time spent in code reviews, and also the time spent by the development team in checking the quality of the code reviews. And also it really reduces the time spent by the scrum master who is in charge of the sprint.